DJ Ash Noble here. Let me just see if there's a way. Actually, that kind of works a bit better, doesn't it? Welcome to another stream. Today we are doing the hardcore addiction aftermath. So I was gigging yesterday. If you haven't been following, if you wasn't aware, and I do these aftermaths on YouTube, and I just do like I guess another a way to call them is like debrief. But I call them aftermath, and it's just like where I talk a little bit about how I thought the gig went, how I thought the event went, and well, what can I say about hardcore addiction? We've got a good aftermath incoming. This event kind of blew me away. It was a really enjoyable event. It was really fun. It was really positive. It was kind of everything you wanted, and it's everything you want an event to be. And it was really good, and it was like I say, it was really enjoyable. And I keep looking up at the wall because I was a little bit naughty, and I ripped a poster down inside the venue last night to bring home. I normally go to like Asda's and I get like little posters printed off from the Max Spielman like photo expert machines, but I haven't been for ages, and I'm due like quite um, a big update on like recent flyers and stuff. But if I can get hold of one at an event, or like a promoter gives me one, then I do like to take one, because then you get a proper sort of like genuine big poster. So I got one yesterday. There was one just outside the club, and it was just absolutely, it was just there on the wall. So I thought, I've got to take this and bring it home, so I can kind of see sort of everything that was going, all the names and everybody that was obviously like, a part of it. And it was just an absolutely amazing event. So the event started at 6 p.m., and well, it actually started at 7. Sorry, not 6. It started at 7, and went on till 3 a.m. And I think I got there somewhere just after half 7, maybe around 25 to 8. I arrived inside of the Zombie Shack, which is where it took place in Manchester, and yeah, it was doing well. That I got there, and there was quite a few people already in there raving, which was a really good thing to see. And I don't like to like bring events down, and I certainly don't like to have bad expectations for events. But I actually, in my mind, for some reason, well, I know the reason, but I didn't think this event was going to be really busy. I thought it was going to be a quiet event. And that was only surely because of what was happening over the weekend. There was like some other events that were taking place. So on Friday in Manchester alone, you had the mighty TLI, a big hardcore event. There was absolutely loads of big names involved in this giant hardcore event, and people going there, you'd think like, who's going to really come out to this little, to this one on Saturday. And then you had DNA in Leicester with another hardcore event, Dougal Gamma headlining. That is already going to attract people. And then on Saturday itself in Stoke-on-Trent, you had an event called Illusion, and it was celebrating MC Energy being 30 years in the game. And there was like 4 different rooms, and there was like, loads of iconic classic names. There was Scott Brown, Dream Frequency, there was MC Nats, there was some newer faces and older faces. Massive event. An event in the Zombie Shack, no offences, you just don't picture it doing very well when you're sort of thinking about what it's going up against. And to be fair, it did really well. It brought its own crowd, it brought its own vibe. There were points in the night where it was really busy. The club, it was really busy inside. It's not the biggest venue in the world, but there was a good. It's always got a good vibe in there. And then there was like odd times where people had gone outside to smoke and stuff, and it looked a little bit quieter. But it was still a really enjoyable vibe, and they did really well. For kind of like sort of bringing thumping events to Manchester and kind of putting this whole thing on. They did really well. So Ryan Garner headlining, Mandy Edge singing live, and I feel really, really privileged because I actually was on set with Mandy Edge, which was that was absolutely for me that was like that kind of ticks off on a bucket list because Mandy Edge, she sang Paradise, See the Light, which is a classic like Clubland anthem. She sang Reasons and Like a Rainbow, which were massive hardcore tracks from Recon. She was the vocalist behind them. And just to be able to introduce her on the mic and just to be able to be sort of alongside her on set and kind of like stand next to her as she's singing and kind of like just be a whole part of just be a whole part of what was going on was just amazing. Um, Truly amazing, and she sang amazing as well. She sang amazing, and that was really good to see. So I was emceeing at this one, although I did end up DJing. A DJ had actually pulled out, believe it or not, and unfortunately, I don't really know why that person pulled out. I know who the person is. Not really sure why they pulled out. So there was like a free set that became available, and they were gonna kind of make it just like a little bit of a free for all, and then I ended up going on. And I brought my headphones and USB stick anyway because I knew that was you get that sort of I like to bring them. I don't always like to have it at the forefront of like, oh yeah, I brought my stick, like I'm hoping to get on. But I do bring them like just in case, and then like someone doesn't turn up, I can be like, well, I have got a stick if you need somebody to jump on. And I am trying to push more that I'm DJing, so it was a buzz that I managed to. I went on the last set, and I think I did about just over half an hour. It wasn't kind of like a planned thing, and then my lift came for me, and then basically another guy, Bass Monkey, came and took over the decks for me as my driver. Was kind of ready to go home. I was kind of glad in a way that it was. I was a little bit at first like, oh come on, you can't pull me off set to go home. But it wasn't a planned set. And to be fair, I hadn't like texted him and told him that I was going to be on set. It was just all kind of like a last minute thing. We got to that last sort of like last set, and I thought, well, this other DJ hasn't turned up, and then there was another guy supposed to be going on, and he just basically something happened with like his partner and one of his friends, something to do with door security, and they couldn't get back into the club. And it was just an unfortunate thing. I don't really know fully what happened, and I know he's not the best pleased, and I don't think he's very keen on the idea of coming back to the venue again. So I just ended up jumping on. So I did about half an hour, 40 minutes maybe. Just threw in some hardcore that I had on the USB, and just went from there really. And it was a really enjoyable vibe. I just loved being behind the decks, and there was still a bit of a crowd for the last set as well, which was quite enjoyable. It was good to see. It was good to reunite with people. It was good to see Kaylee and Scar. It's always sort of good to see her, and I've had the privilege of working with her a few times now. Miking sets and being at the same event and stuff, and it's always a pleasure, to kind of, see her now. Dukins, he's become a friend of mine, and it's always a pleasure to see him emceeing on the mic. And then it was good to meet some people that I've not met before. Bass Monkey, we sort of live stream on the same page on Facebook, and then it's like we're putting a name to the face, and what I do want to say about him is he absolutely blew the roof off on his set. He absolutely annihilated his set. So just a little bit before his set, he sort of come up onto the stage area, and he was talking to me, and he said, look, my hands are shaking. It's my first time I've ever played in a nightclub before. I'm absolutely bricking it. I'm quite nervous. And I told him, like, obviously I was just reassuring. I didn't know if he was going to smash it or not, to be honest. But I just said, look, you're going to smash it. Truth is, I've not heard this guy really play out before. I've heard him on live streams a couple of times, but not really properly listened to him. And I just thought, I'll just say you're going to smash it because, it's good to reassure people. And then basically, he just went on and he just smashed the set and he annihilated it. He absolutely tore the roof off, and every mix was like a seamless mix that just sounded really good. And he played some absolute tunes as well, and he just absolutely smashed it. And it was so good to see him. It was just absolutely amazing to see somebody who was stood on that stage, hands shaking, not sure really if he's going to be able to do this, thinking, look, I don't know if I can go out there and smash it, to actually go out there and smash it. It absolutely blew me away, and it was so good, to see somebody for the first time go into a club and smash it like that. And hopefully that is like the first of many bookings for him, because like he did really do well. And if I was thinking like, right, I'm putting an event on, let's give somebody an opportunity, it would be somebody like him that I would like to give that opportunity to, because it would be absolutely fantastic. And like I say, he absolutely smashed the pants off of it. And it's people like that come there, and and they go and just prove, they prove themselves wrong. They go there and they're thinking, I'm nervous, I'm not sure if I can do this, and then they go and they prove to themselves. I just went up there on that stage and I smashed an hour's set, and I just absolutely annihilated it. And and it's a good feeling, and I've had that feeling myself. I know there's been countless times, and it doesn't matter how many times you DJ, where I've gone to an event and I've been a little bit nervous, and I've been, you know what, I really don't know like if I can do this or how it's gonna go. A big one was when we did the kids rave in Skegness, when we did the Wild Child. That was kind of like for me, because I hadn't really played really like kids raves before then. I wasn't really sure. Lehman sort of had this sort of like expectations of like in his mind of like how the set would be, and what style we'd bring, and he wanted to do like a clubland set, and I didn't really like. I love clubland, I've loved it for years, but from like a DJ's point of view, clubland wasn't really something that I collected, for like DJing purposes. So when I started mixing, I was into hardcore, so mixing hardcore, that was kind of the thing for me. And then I kind of took a little bit of a turn into like playing bounce, and then obviously I've got love for house music. So when it comes to like owning actual like the classic clubland tracks, I was very limited. So it was sort of looking online, and then it was kind of some of them didn't always have the best quality, and then it was kind of, well, which track goes into the next track, and it was like putting a jigsaw together. And I got so busy, like just with general life, that I was quite late putting it together, and then I was just so like, I don't even know how this is gonna go. But it went really well. But it just shows that you can still get nervous. It doesn't matter what you're kind of doing. If that makes sense, you could have DJ'd for years, but you can still get racked. It can be still nerve wracking, playing certain gigs and playing certain sets, and that was most definitely a nervous one for me. And then I suppose last Sunday as well, was a bit nerve wracking, doing another kind of like kids rave. And the thing that was nerve wracking about the one on Sunday is I wasn't really sure what the vibe was going to be. I wasn't sure what the crowd was going to be like. Whereas when I did the rave kids, don't get me wrong, I was nervous because that's like the biggest kids rave that's around at the moment. But you do kind of get because it's like promoted so well and you see it so well and you see the names that are on the flyers. You know the kind of vibe that the rave kids like offer. You know what they do, um, and that was a big thing. So I already kind of knew. Whereas going to somewhere like Brid, you were kind of thinking like, are they actually going to enjoy like the stuff that this like rave kids stuff as such, this like bounce and this like donk and this like clublandy stuff, and just literally boom, really just blew me away that that there was kind of into it. Are they gonna like sort of like more commercially like Melbourne bounce, more some like deep house remixes, and stuff like that. It was in the sort of like it was in the back of my mind that they might not like the donk, and then I arrived in the venue and Danny was on the decks and he was playing donk and they all seemed to be liking it, so it kind of reassured me a bit, which was a good thing. But it just shows, going back to the whole point that doesn't matter how long you've been DJing, you can get nervous about sets. And that is a big one for me, getting nervous about sets. It still happens, and the venue doesn't even matter. You could have gone to that venue 1,000 times, and you could play there for one specific night, one specific reason that you get nervous about. You're nervous to go up there, because for what it's an occasion or you want to get something right. It can happen. So that is absolutely amazing. So yeah, I'm absolutely mind blown. I'm buzzed with how last night went. So I emceed, like I say, I was on Mandy Edge's set, and then I jumped on the decks later on to cover the last set. And I emceed just sort of really throughout the night. There was only three MCs, so myself, Haydee, and Dukins. And personally, it's not enough. Like, I think you need more variety of MCs, because Haydee kind of went on. I arrived. I was like the first MC to arrive. And instantly, first MC to arrive. Oh, no one's been on the mic yet. So you get that kind of, like, oh, I should go on the mic and hype it up a bit. And then you get that like, well, I don't want to say stuff that I want to say later on, because I don't want things to get boring. So I was trying not to, but yeah, I went on the mic for a little bit, then passed it over to Haydee, and then Haydee passed it to Dukins, and then me and Dukins did a little B2B, and then Haydee kind of took it back again, and then I took it back for the Mandy Edges set. And then sort of announced Mandy Edge, and she sang live and did all of that stuff, and then passed it back to me, and then I went back on and continued hosting the night, and then sort of did like a little bit of a B2B with Dukins again, and then left it to him to sort of go and stand behind the decks, because I had a feeling that just sort of the last set needed something. So I jumped on, got my headphones ready. I just thought, look, I'll get them ready, and then I can jump on and spin some tracks, and it was really good, and I met some really good people. Met a guy there who added me on Facebook, and he also runs an event and a brand and something about booking me. So he said he's going to text me. And then I met another guy from London who was like a really sound guy, and he could MC as well, but he wasn't on the flyer, but let him have a go on the mic, and he was really good, and he was really positive, and he also added me on Facebook, and as well, and it was a good vibe. And I've had a few people like just out of the audience and the ravers that have sent me friend requests, and it's always a nice thing, because you know that they've appreciated the job that you've done, and you know that you've gone there and and maybe just the way you've acted might have made a difference to their life, coming across like loving the music and being real positive, and I do, I jump around, I smile, I get excited, it's not a forefront, people, that they probably sit there and think, it's this image that I put on, but it's not. Like I've been just like I grew up with music. My parents were, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. That they were sesheds, but I grew up around dance music and rave music all my life. The house music and hard house and trance and clubland was all through my childhood. Ministry of Sound CDs. So I've always been influenced and just had a passion and loved music, which is really good. And I just love it. I bop around to it. I absolutely love it. Like here on my turntable, classic house track, Freaks the Creeps, Ministry of Sound, absolute tune. And I've got it on vinyl. And there's a lot of people around my age, especially, that don't like, like when they was growing up, they weren't playing this stuff. They listened to the radio and they watched Disney films and they went bowling and things like that. And don't get me wrong, I did things as a kid. I did days out. I did watch movies, but a lot of my life was very influenced by music. If I didn't stop at my nan and granddad's, I would more than likely go with my mum and dad to somebody's house, where they'd be drinking and partying and music would be on, and it'd be dance music. And my parents did go to the big raves, and back in them days when you went to raves in the 2000s, there would be more than likely like the event would have like a mixed CD, and they'd bring, and you could bring home a mixed CD, you could grab a free CD at the event, or you could buy a CD, and it'd be maybe like a promo mix for the next event or something. And they used to do that. So then when we was going in the car, like whether shopping or what going on a day out or whatever the occasion may be, there was dance music played in the car. And then of course I got into it, and then back in them days, albums that were advertised quite frequently on TV. So you'd get an advert for the next Ministry of Sound album, and I'd be like, I want that album. And then birthdays and Christmas would come, and you'd get that CD. I remember getting the Blackout Crew when they launched their Time to Shine album all the way back in like 2008, 2009. I got that for Christmas. I remember Christmas morning putting it on, just being absolutely just buzzed with it. And then obviously, as you do, um, it was just one of them things, and it was just a buzz. It was just an absolute buzz. So I've always been brought up around music. So when I am behind the decks or on a mic, I jump around and I get excited, and I rave more on a set than I would just like being in the crowd, because I feel the music more when I'm on a set, or when I'm DJing, or whatever the occasion may be. I always feel it more. But yeah, so Hardcore Addiction, it is safe to say that it was a banging event. It was a belting event. A very tiring weekend. On Friday, I went to Leicester for the DNA. That was a really, really good event. That was really busy as well. The only thing I would probably say about that event, if I had to criticise something, it would just be it was the noise was too loud. Like they just needed to knock the sound down a little bit. Like it just in the main room, it was just a little bit too like you know and it just sounded like really loud, and my ears were ringing when I came out. Like it was too loud for the size of the venue it was. Like you need like a like more like just a bigger venue to play the sound that loud. It just needed like turning down just a little bit. It really was booming, but it was still a really good vibe. Dougal and Gamma, I got to see them that was like a really for me that was like a really sort of that was like a bucket list moment because I've listened to a lot of like HDID sets and like WizKid on the mic introducing Dougal and Gamma, and it was always like I'd love to see them one day, and then it was kind of like Gamma did the whole like I'm not a part of the hardcore scene anymore. I'm moving on and doing other things, and now it's kind of like he's kind of come back, and he takes like hardcore bookings as well, and pops up and does like little like reunion sets with with Dougal, or sometimes just on his own, and then WizKid will host it. So it was really good to get to witness that. And it felt kind of the way the set started. It felt like it really did back in the day. Gamma started off with just an absolutely classic track, and it just felt like in your mind you could just picture yourself. You're back in HDID. The year is sort of 2008 or something, or 2010, and it's just absolutely going off. And you've got WizKid on the mic, and horn screamers, whistle crew. It was just amazing. It felt really good. But then, unfortunately, the sound was just too loud for me personally. That I just couldn't. I couldn't stand and hear the full set. It was making my ears hurt. Just the volume was too loud, so I had to like filter. Kind of go and spend a bit of time in the second room and like go outside and stuff and then we left and we went all the way to Scunthorpe and we called in to Hard Drive because basically Hard Drive put their next event on. They tried to book the layman, but the layman was already booked. And they were really gutted that he was already booked because he normally does the hard drives. But this time they just didn't book him in time. So we kind of felt bad, so we just called in to say hello. As we'd normally be there in full force and at the event. And it was it was good to go in and see everybody that was there and kind of like support the event. And it makes a difference. The fact that we still popped in and said hello was obviously it was a big thing. So that was good. And then we got food. And finally got home quite late. I was actually quite tired. Had about 5 hours sleep, and then we was up and we was getting ready to hit the road to Manchester. I got up and I actually was at the computer and I actually was on FL and I just felt like making something, but I didn't really know what. So I started just by making a drum groove, and then the drum groove kind of went on to all right. Now what track am I gonna make? And I attempted something, and I didn't like it, so I kept the drum groove, but like I scrapped the initial like what the track was gonna be. And then I come across a website, and this website is actually a phenomenal website. And I can't remember for the life of me what it's called, but I have to big up what the site does. So the site, it's basically like a site, and you can basically buy karaoke tracks. Like that is the like the be all and end all of it. So essentially, you go on the website, you can search for a track, and you can buy this track. But what happens when you buy the track is you essentially buy all the stems for the track. So you can buy the track, but you can download each individual little element of that track. So if you say you buy a track and it's got a bass guitar in it, you can download a sample of that bass guitar, and you could then sample it in a track. But the thing about it is it's not original. So like it's all kind of like cover. So like it's like a covered karaoke vocalist that sings the vocal. So when you download the acapella, it's not the original artist that's singing the lyrics. So it's like a cover vocal. And then like you get everything with it. You get the vocals, you get the backing vocals. So of course you can buy these tracks and you can use the stems to get the acapella. And the acapella is like it's re-sung by somebody else, but it's like completely clean. So like it is a full, it's as clean as ever. You couldn't get it any cleaner. It is physically somebody literally re-singing it, and you can take that full a cappella. It's not being ripped out of a track. It's not being, there's no backing noises, and it's really good. So I found this website, and I also found a little bit of information on where a Clubland track came from. And I managed to get the karaoke parts and the vocal to that track. It cost me £2.49. And I thought, you know what? Like, I don't begrudge that, because you're getting a full clean a cappella. And you're getting like full clean sounds that you can sample and put in tracks if you want to make a cover of a track. And I just thought, for £2.49, like, I know like it could be like quite costly if you're buying them all the time, but like I just thought, to really get like this track that's not been remixed much, because there isn't really a vocal out there that's clean. I just thought it's worth the £2.49. So the track is Right Beside You, known on Clubland by the Dancing DJs. But there was a girl called Sophie that originally did it. And it was the track was quite famous for having this like flute sound in it. That was kind of what it was known for. So I just had to take it, and I began doing a version of it that I'm not fully happy with it yet, but it's coming together most definitely. So that was kind of most of Saturday, and then obviously I went to the gig, and then today I've just, well, I slept in for most of the day. I don't think I got up till after 2, because I got in like mega late, and it was awful. The drive back, I'm not gonna lie, it was not a pretty drive back. So obviously I'd had lack of sleep on the night before from like going to the DNA. I'd been on like 5 hours sleep. So and then at the event, you know, I'm on the go the whole time. I'm emceeing, I'm walking around, I'm moving and I'm grooving, I'm DJing, I'm doing all kinds of things. I'm socializing, I'm keeping myself, my brain, my mind, I'm keeping it all very active. And then it gets to, obviously we're traveling home, and you come out of the club, and boom, the silence, the sound's gone. You sit down, you're doing nothing. We were hungry, so we went to eat. We called in at Mackey's and grabbed something to eat. And then you're in the car, and like I say, you just sat there, and then all of a sudden, like you're tired, but you don't realize you're tired, and then you stop, and then you realize how tired you are. And we're going along the M62, and I could just boom, I could just shut my eyes and be lights out, like see you later, Layman. But see you later. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm broken. And he's obviously tired himself, but he's got to drive, and he was like, "No, come on, Noble, don't go to sleep." And I'm pushing, and I'm trying so hard, like not to go to sleep, but my eyes are so heavy, and it's at that point where it's so easy to close them, and closing the eyes, it feels nice, and you kind of close them not with the intention of going to sleep, but just closing them because they feel nice closed, but then you actually do end up drifting off. And I think I did fall asleep in the car coming back, but it'd only just be like, do you know what, like a matter of like just a couple of minutes, and then Liam and it would sort of, come on, Noble, don't sleep, and then I wake back up like, all right, like, and then I got back, like, we got near Hull, and by this point, like, it's getting daylight, the sun's coming up, and I started to feel a bit more awake again. And then by the time we was back into Hull, like, I was still really tired, but I kind of woke back up from that, like where my eyes were actually physically closing. And I got home, and went to the toilet, got into bed, did all of that stuff, and then literally I like literally couldn't sleep for a little bit. I was like not mega long, but I was laid there thinking, like, when I was in the car, like I could have just boom like that. And then I'm laid here, and I'm thinking, like, I can't, I'm laid awake, and I'm thinking, And then I soon fell asleep, and then I think I woke up somewhere about 12:30, going up for one. And I thought, and I just felt really tired still. So I just didn't even attempt to get up. I just sort of like browsed my phone, and just sort of like kept browsing while I was just laid. And then I kind of put the phone down and laid for a little bit and thought, oh, I can't. And then I was getting quite hungry. So I thought I'm gonna have to like get up and go to the toilet and then make something to eat and get myself a drink and all the rest of it. And then I remembered that yesterday I made a cup of tea, and then the my lift came, Layman came to go to Manchester. I didn't get a chance to drink it, so I had a couple of mouthfuls and put it in the microwave, as I thought I'll have it when I come in or something, but I was just, not in really the mood or the form to have it then. So I warmed it up, had something to eat, played around on FL for a bit, did a bit more with this track, just did a little bit, and then I just thought, you know what, I just feel done in. So I went back and just laid on the bed for a bit. Thought I'm not live until 7, so I went and laid and just sort of laid and looked at my phone. Next minute, I've dozed off for like half an hour, and I'm waking up to like people messaging me, which all will be revealed about one of the messages. So essentially, I've had a booking. Well, actually, a couple of bookings have come in. And they're actually the day after each. They're actually like one of them's on the Friday, the other one's on the Saturday, literally the day after. And they've all kind of come this week. They both come this week, but one of them I've kind of. It's not my event, but I kind of jumped on board just to help the promoter a little bit. So there's an event that's taking place. Gonna be 2 rooms, and the second room he wanted like a little bit of a showcase some like up and coming talent kind of thing. People that haven't really played out much before. So I had a couple of people in mind that I thought, you know what, it'd be really good for them, to come and play here. So I just, I just said, look, I know a couple of people that would be up for the opportunity. Let me give them a message and sort of see where we go from here. And I got a couple of people involved, and essentially there was a flyer that came out. The flyer wasn't the best design, and then I was making a better one, and I made a better one. And then essentially there was just a couple of issues with the lineup and just some things regarding sort of negotiating with some DJs and stuff. So it all kind of got put on the back burner. The original flyer did go out on Facebook, but I was just busy at the events, so I didn't get a chance to share it. And then they said that there's a new flyer, and that the proper full thing's going to come out this week with a proper with the better announcement of the event. So once that comes out, I will be doing an announcement for that. And then there's another gig that's taking place the following day, and this one is a little bit exciting for me. And when I announce it, which I mean I could kind of announce it now, because it's a bit different. But like it's stuff I've done before, but like the concept of it, basically like I don't have to wait for artwork kind of thing, because it's a little bit kind of like different. But I'm looking forward to it, and it's quite an exciting one for me because of like what it is and where it is. And it's gonna be a good thing. And it's gonna kind of take me back down memory lane a little bit, just of like where it is. And then the concept of it is kind of gonna make people that don't really see or follow me now kind of like if they come into where I'm gigging, then they'll kind of see like they might see the odd things on Facebook what I'm posting, but it'll be like this is what Noble's doing now. And this is going to be like kind of like a really cool thing. Like I'm really proper, like super looking forward to it. So I'll be announcing them this week. I'm going to announce them this week. As far as the artwork for this one that I've just been on about, where I'm excited for. Well, I'm excited for them both. I will be knocking some little artwork up for it because this is. All I'm gonna say is it's kind of like one of these like DJ Ash Noble all night long. It's one of them where I'm in a pub, I'm in a venue, and basically the pub themselves have booked me for like an all night long. They got in contact and they said, would I do like an all night long thing? Would I play music all night and get people sort of in on the vibe and sort of on the mood and sort of get things popping and get things going essentially. So I'm quite looking forward to it. It should be quite a cool vibe. So I will be making kind of like a further announcement, kind of like as things go on, and we'll kind of see what happens. But anyway, Hardcore Addiction, absolutely amazing night. So big up to Mark for Mark Jones for booking me. I wanted to say Mark Page, but he's for something completely different. He's related to Hull, so I don't know why I wanted to say Mark Page. But yeah, big ups to Mark Jones for putting me on and giving me the opportunity at that event. It was really good. All the DJs smashed it, and I cannot wait to see the future of Hardcore Addiction. So make sure to like this stream, make sure to share, comment, all of that good stuff. Oh, I do. Before I leave, I want to mention something that is not DJ related. So as you know, the Isle of Man TT is currently taking place at the moment. If you followed me on this channel, you'll know my connections to the Isle of Man TT. You'll know that I'm a fan of it. You'll know that my granddad used to race it. So I somewhat try to keep like sort of up to date with it. So like I follow pit groups and pages on Facebook, and if I'm not really doing anything, I'll try and listen into some of the commentary on the radio and stuff like that. And I'll try and like follow videos online and stuff. And I was scrolling through Facebook, as you do yesterday. We was on the way to Manchester, and someone had put like a little picture up of like speed times, like speed mile an hour, like on like a certain part of the course. And there's a place on the Isle of Man TT called the Sulby Strait. It's like a part of the course where there's a straight road for quite a fair length of time. There's quite like a straight road, so the bikes can get to some hefty speeds on the on the straight. You can get to some hefty speeds. Anyway, there was a picture of like raced like what speeds like some like the top speeds that people have been getting down that straight, and anyway. The speeds included the names like Josh Brooks. I think there was Michael Dunlop and some other names, and there was some hefty speeds. And Josh Brooks, who also races like British Superbikes and does a whole lot more than just the TT. Anyway, he was on the top of the leaderboard, and he had hit something like 203 miles an hour, or it might have even been 205. Like I don't even know what to say. Like 205 mile an hour on a bike. Like, are you absolute? Like, are you fucking crazy? Like 205 mile an hour on a bike. Like, I saw it, and I was like, I was mind blown. I was absolutely like, I was like, I was like, you've got to be fucking joking me. Like, are you telling me that he's hit 205 mile an hour going down Sulby Straight? Like, that is like, honestly, that is like some speed. Like, and that guy is not altogether, he's not altogether right up there, is he? Like, I mean, come on. Like, who in their right minds, right? But fair enough, like, going round at like 150, 160 is dangerous enough. You know, but who in their right minds, like, thinks I want to jump on a bike and I want to go around that course, right? In the first place, and then do speeds of like 205 miles an hour. Like, that is just, honestly, that is just mind blowing. Like, that is the craziest shit I have ever seen in my whole entire life. Like they want to do 205 miles an hour. That is crazy. That he got to that speed. And he didn't come off or anything. That is crazy. So I wanted to share that. You know, because it is like the craziest thing ever, and people want to compare football to motorbike racing. Then, you know, I stand by everything that I say, that football is a puff sport. Unfortunately, you know, they fall over and they graze the knee and they're crying out in pain, and riders come off at like 150 and they're like asking like doctors, like, when do you think I can get back on the bike? You know, or even sometimes they're trying to even get back on the bike. Bike will be fucked. You know, they'll avert themselves, but they'll be like, can I get back to the pits and get my other bike out, and, you know, can I go again? So it's crazy. So I wanted to share that 205 mile an hour. I might even do some like separate stream or video on it, just because it is actually mind blowing. But I'm gonna go to bed because I am still shattered. I'm gonna lay in bed, watch a little bit of YouTube, and then hit the hay because we're back to another week tomorrow, of, you know, work. And oh, by the way, I'm DJing on Tuesday as well. It's kind of like for a work thing. So I'll just say it quickly. So with my youth work, I've been working on a special project on a Tuesday, and I've been recording some like a group of like young kids that are in care, basically. They're in like a care home, and they come together and they work with this like person that works at a youth centre, and they do different projects, and they always do a sing along. And they wrote a song last year called Shine Bright. And to cut the story short, they got some like scratch DJ guy to do the backing music, and they weren't really happy with the outcome. And he didn't really do to the track what they wanted. So essentially, they came to me this year when they'd seen me working on another project, and said, look, you know, would I put something together? Would I do this, you know, would I make backing music for it? So I've made the backing music, and they're having this sing-along little event taking place to showcase at the Albemarle. And I'm going to essentially be taking my decks and doing a little bit of DJing as people are coming in. So it's not like the forefront of like just, you know, going up there and playing a banging set. It's just playing music while they're walking in. So it's just literally like, you know, just spinning some tunes quietly. You know, so it's not going to be like really loud, but enough to know that there's music playing, and I'll just be having a good time behind the decks, really. So that'll be good. And then, of course, on Saturday we're in Leicester for the Canvas reunion, and I'm playing the second room, which is the hardcore room. So I'm looking forward to playing a hardcore set up there. So make sure to like, comment, share, and we'll see you soon. Boom, I'm done. She